Hi everybody, it's Lynn Como with Close to My Heart, and I am very excited to share with you my 6x8 album for recipes and memories using Eat, Play, Love. Let me show you exactly how it came out, because this is something I think you'll really be excited about and may want to do with me. I will be teaching this and sharing this and showing you how on May 15th and 16th. Actually, it'll be on Sunday, May 16th for the recipe portion of our online virtual event. But come on, let's take a look. So this is my title page. I'm using the beautiful Eat, Play, Love paper collection, the wooden embellishments. I am also using the Kitchen Gnomes stamp set. You could see how cute she came out, and the sticker Memories. Now you can easily change this to recipes if you just want a recipe book. I'm here to show you the variety of what you can do and how great you can incorporate some treasured memories of your family or yourself today in this kind of an album. So on the back of that page, I decided to do my own photo of me cooking in the kitchen and write a little story. I don't know how many people in my family really know that I did go to cooking school for a couple of years back in the late 70s, where I went to somebody's house at night and learned how to cook. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I highly recommend taking cooking classes. Thank goodness I enjoy food. Now here's the title page for baked goods. I'm showing you that I stamped baked goods, and I will show you all the products. If you stay to the end, you'll see all the products that I used to make this beautiful album. I am using the Picture My Life cards. I will be coloring it in. And the other thing is, basically, it's the same product line as we're using for the 12 by 12, 16 or 8-page workshop kit. So just check it all out, because it's all part of the same deal. And I will show you, if you don't want to stamp baked goods on the actual paper, using the thin cuts, you'll be able to stamp thin cuts and then put them right here. And you'll be able to change your title. So I love taking photos of food. And here's my recipe. So I wanted to show you, you can have a photo or you can just have recipes. And here's my ricotta cookie recipe. I did stamp the background, and I left this little mistake in here to show you that if you stamp directly on the card and color it in with our tri-blend markers, it tends to bleed. So that's why the thin cuts are really great here. So here's the rest of the recipe, and I also wrote about where I got this recipe from. I wanted to add memories in the baking section of my grandmother, because she taught me how to bake. I used to bake pies with her, and we used to make pierogies together. And she was just a wonderful grandma. So here you could see I used the canning jar and stamped it. And I'm just filling in with some Picture My Life cards. Here's that lace doily and some of the paper. And this is the 3x4 pocket page, by the way. So you can see it's all separated. This is really special to me because my son Scott was actually home to bake with me and create cookies together for Christmas. And that was a special treat. Not just the goodies, but having him there do it with me. I'll never forget it. Here's desserts. So you can change your title, like I said, but we will create the base of this so it looks just like this, or you could do your own thing. And here I did the gnomes, and I did some stamping as well. Some of you have the oval stitches, thin cuts, but you can use whatever you like. I love the fact that I did have a photo in my files. Now, I sat and went through a lot of photos and just made a file folder that was called food. And I just dumped a lot of photos in that had to do with food, things that I've made, things that we love, or family. And I had this one, and I thought, Whisked in Love, this was perfect for that. Here's a basic pie crust recipe that I've put in that I like to use with photos of the pie. So you can opt to not do photos and just do recipes, or add more photos and write about who created the recipes, like an aunt or a cousin or a great-grandma. I also told about what are the kind of pies that I like to make. You could also type in or write up what are your favorite cookbooks and things like that. Main dish, I really thought this was great using the paper with the floral pattern on it. as a more formal section. So main dish, you could do main dishes. You could do seafood. You could do poultry. You could do beef, whatever it is. You could do Chinese, Italian, whatever you want to make your recipe title be. It's up to you to do that. I will just show you the page and how I put this together. That's the back of it, and I could easily add a photo or another recipe here or just leave it as is. So here's just showing you another photo of food, and yes, I did create this using a creamy lemon dill shrimp, and it's over a crab cake and couscous with roasted asparagus. Totally delicious. But here you can see how I also printed the card out on my computer, cut it down, and glued it to the front and back of the candy apple cardstock. So that's an option for you too, to do this as well. Just showing you, you can just have more in here plain and ready to go for when you need to add more. Some Picture My Life cards. So just add or delete whatever you'd like. Pasta. Stamped, the wood embellishments, some of the stickers, some of the zip strips. Now this was out of the Picture My Life card. It was the toaster. I thought it made a great pasta bowl. And Nana's Kitchen. Because when I think of pasta, I think Italian and I think of Nana. Okay, that's just the way I roll. I also want to tell the story is I love to make pesto, and Nick loves pesto. That is by far his favorite thing to eat. He could eat a whole pound of pasta. And his wife, Daria, is a beautiful young woman who loves to make pierogi. She's from Poland, and they actually make pierogi together. So it's delicious. So here you can see I have my recipe, and then I also have my own thoughts about how I like to blend it as well. I am the boss of this sauce. And just another blank page just to show you, you can use journaling lines, you can use a ruler and pencil, whatever you'd like. Salad. Here's another great one. I love the way this came out. It's so soft. I used a circle, thin cut. And my mom, here's a picture of my mom working in the Bridge Tavern. That was a place that we owned, and she made a lot of the food, and she was great with salads. So I wanted to write in about how her salads were so delicious. Potato, macaroni, and coleslaw, and what her secret ingredients were. And just leaving it blank for more opportunities to write up some recipes. See the cute little salt and pepper shaker? Let me take that a little bit closer for you. I actually used some stickles to color them in to make them really cute and pop. Enjoy the little things. Last season was my first time doing refrigerator pickles, canning them myself, and it was super easy that I wrote in the recipe, had a photo, and just talked about how it was my first time and how I'd love to preserve goods more often. Soup. How many of you love to make soup? And of course, we use the girl here, boss of the sauce, to create it. And I thought this was a fun page. And I'm going to show you how to cut this particular pattern of paper a certain way so that you get the full border look. I cut the apron out of one of the 2x2s. But here you can see how these match. So I want to show you how to cut that paper. So here's some more ways for you to add recipes, the Picture My Life cards. And then, of course, you can add your own title index pages. You will have more paper and more cardstock to do this. So have fun with the titles that you want to create that are your favorite kinds of recipes you like to cook or that your family has cooked. Now, for me, I thought it was nice to do family traditions. Here you could see the vellum doily, which I love, and I just used some of the paper, stickers, and the Picture My Life cards. Now, this section is about our family. And Rick loves to barbecue. And he recently, in the last couple of years, got a smoker, and he's been smoking ribs. He's a good smoker on the ribs, for sure. And I just wrote about that. And here you could see I stamped Good Eats with the chef. And that is out of another stamp set, which I will show you. Here I took the 4x6 Picture My Life card, cut it in half, and we love pulled pork. Another thing he can do on the smoker, or I could do in the crock pot, and man, is it delicious. With the coleslaw that I make, super good. Gathered together, great way for you to put your family photo in here of a family having a great barbecue, or outdoor meal together, or an indoor meal. It could be a holiday meal. Another one that I take a lot of photos of, or we do, is pizza. Rick is also great at cooking pizza on the grill, and this is one of the pies he made, totally delicious, and it was all from our garden, which was cool. And then the last photo that I decided to do here was I love to bake muffins. It's just who I am, and I always have muffins in the freezer, and these are cranberry and orange scones from Ina Garten. But I wrote down all the kinds of muffins I like to make, and this is part of what I do in the morning. Makes me very happy. It makes my family happy that we always have something homemade and in the freezer for when they come over. So that is my cookbook, recipe book, and memory book all wrapped up in one. So now let's go through the products. So here is one of the albums. We have Candy Apple. You also can have a black album if you prefer, or sapphire blue, and this is the colored julep. I wanted to show you what that looked like. That might be what you like to use. And then we have our page protectors. So the one that we're going to use for our index pages is the actual 6x8, and all of this will be on the ingredient list or the recipe list for this. So you get a package of 10 of those. These are the 4x6 pocket pages. So this can hold a recipe card, and I use the white daisy and cut them into 4x6s, and then use journaling lines to write my recipes, or you can use colored cardstock, but this is great for that. And then there's also the pocket pages for the 3x4s, the little smaller ones that you can use with the Picture My Life cards, small photos, small details, really a nice element to add to your books that you won't use a full pack most likely, but it is nice to have on hand for when you need it for those moments. So those are the basic ingredients just for the cover, right? Kind of like the plate that's going to hold it all. And then we have all the great stuff that mixes together to make them into recipes or memories of your family. So one thing that you can add, if you don't have plenty already, is the wood shapes, okay? I'm just using what I had left over, but there's some great wood shapes in here, and if you don't have enough, buy another pack. I don't think these will last that long, to be quite honest with you. I think this kit will definitely be a hot seller. Now, these are the Picture My Life cards, and this is the one where I told you I cut it apart, and I put We Love Pulled Pork, but we're using these, pretty much all of them, in this kit as well. So they're all in here. It's $6.50 just for the Picture My Life cards. Then you have the paper pack with the stickers. Love the stickers, and I pretty much used all of them. And then you have all these gorgeous papers, and I will show you how to cut them with the zip strips. So you have 6 sheets here. And the one thing I could tell you about the recipe book is if you think you're going to have more pages, a lot more, think about getting another pack as well as another album so that you can have everything you need at once so you don't run out and it's not discontinued. So think about your needs as how much you want. But I love all the paper that's in here. And then, of course, I am recommending the coordinating cardstock that comes with the kit. Well, it's sold separately, but you get 3 sheets of lemonade, candy apple, lagoon, and white daisy. You will need more white daisy, and many of you already have that. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the spices, right? Let's talk about the color inks, almond, candy apple, and tense black. I am using the same color markers that I did with the 12x12 layouts. So we're actually just using everything again and again. And then, of course, we want to add our stamps, right? These are the same stamps that I used on the 12x12 layouts. This is the Eat, Play, Love card making stamp set with thin cuts. I think this is just a great one to have for when you decide to do some tags, even the holiday tags you could do, or preserves, or a cute card. The kitchen gnomes, gotta have these cute gnomes with all the thin cuts because it really makes a difference that you can have them and use all of them that way. Super cute. And then as far as the alphabet goes, I'll leave these here so you can see, because I am a visual person too, and I like seeing everything that we're using. Now, here is the same stamp set the simple serif, lowercase and uppercase, and I used it with thin cuts. Now this is what I'm talking about, that if you are going to do something with a thin cut, let's just say, let me see if I can find one real quick. Salad. Let's say you weren't comfortable stamping right on here. Then use this with the thin cuts so that you can stamp the thin cut and then glue them right on here and lay them out exactly the way you want. This way you'll be really comfortable and not making any mistakes. But the more you do it, the better you get. So I definitely like that. But you can choose your own title and your own alphabet set if you'd like. The other one that I did use lastly was the Modern Typewriter alphabet. This one I think is on sale for $9.50. This was the one that I did the Good Eats, and we, with the love, pulled pork. It's kind of nice to have something small when you just want to highlight a few words. Now, for those of you who've been with me a long, long time and did the school years album with me, you have captured this day to day. And if you do, these are some of the great journaling lines that you can use, okay? This is a really old set, this one here, but most of you will have, well, some of you will have this. Otherwise, use your own pencil and ruler and draw some lines. And lastly, for those of you who love to do baking, or you have gardens and you're doing fruits and vegetables and things like that, you might want to consider this beautiful stamp set, which is sweet fruit, which has apples, lemons, limes, or you could do oranges. You can do Persian, what do you call them? The other kinds of pears, like Asian pears. There's cherries in here. You could do black cherries. So just think about this is another stamp set that you could add to this book if that's something you like. All right, well, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. All the shopping lists will be on my blog at lynncomo.com. This video will also be showcased in case you want to share it with your friends. And I hope you will join in to create all of this with me on the May 15th, 16th online virtual crop on Facebook at lynncomo.com. You can get all the details. Thanks so much. And I am really looking forward for you to create a beautiful memory/recipe book that you can share with your family or give as a gift or keep for your own.